Hi, I'm Mia Glode, and this is my show, Cliques and Cliques, and we're going to be talking about friend groups, social media, and the side effects it has on girls' mental health. I'm going to give some tips and tricks on how to deal with it, and just to bring awareness to it and show everyone that they are not the only person. I started this show because I wanted girls to have a place to go to ask questions, understand they're not alone, and get some advice on how to deal with all of the annoying high school stuff they're going through. Hello, Merritt.
Hello, I'm Merritt, and I'm Mia's first guest on her podcast.
Okay, welcome.
Okay, so what are we doing today? Are you asking me questions?
Yes, okay. I'm just going to ask you some questions, and we'll just get started. Okay. So first, how was your last year of school? Because I know we both started at a new school.
Hell.
Really?
It was actually really bad. I hated it. I hated the workload. I hated the people that I surrounded myself with initially. Right off the bat, I didn't really go into it with an open mindset, and it kind of led me to, I don't know, it wasn't very beneficial. I think I went into it with, this is going to be easy. I just need to focus on soccer, and I just ended up with bad grades, and I just ended up not surrounded by the people that I wanted to be around.
I agree. And I think that, we were just so focused on, freshman year. We wanted to find a friend group so that we weren't alone. And just be okay.
Have friends.
Yeah, we wanted friends, but we didn't care if they were necessarily,
And, we started in the same friend group, and now we're in a different friend group together, and I think that we both moved. It was,
Yeah, I agree. And, switching schools freshman year was for difficult. Both of us, it was hard. Really hard. I remember we both were I'm so done. I want to leave.
Yeah.
Okay. So another thing I'm wondering is because this podcast is about friend groups, but also the social media aspect.
Okay.
I know you obviously have Snap and TikTok and Instagram and all that. What are your thoughts on it for people, just in general, for teenage girls?
Actually, I think this is interesting because I've always seen these things scrolling makes girls so self-conscious, all of these apps make people feel so bad about themselves, and I always kind of felt I don't really relate to that. Obviously, I see all these people that I think are beautiful people, but I never have really felt myself kind of feeling jealous, kind of uncomfortable in my own skin. And I was actually recently scrolling on Instagram, and I was looking at these girls, and I was oh wow, she's so perfect, oh wow, I'm
pretty.
Not like that, genuinely these things that I had been seeing for my whole life, that people are jealous when I actually was jealous, and it actually made me upset that I didn't look like these people that I was seeing online. Seriously, I think that whether you realize or not, Instagram and TikTok especially have a big effect on people.
Oh, 100%.
You see these things that are not realistic, and it's just sucks.
And then it's just you see all these people, and you see their lives too. You see them going on trips. You see them having a perfect life, having all these perfect friends.
Their bodies are perfect.
These
everything's perfect
grades.
About them.
They have the perfect clothes. And I think you're just kind of why can't I be like that?
And I feel honestly, Snapchat doesn't have an effect on my mental health. I think that as of right now, or how I've used it in the past, is just kind of as something for communication. Obviously people will post on their stories, but I just feel that's not a big enough aspect of the app for it to really be
I agree. And I think Snapchat also has such a big effect on dating now. That's actually the one thing. Is I think girls will beat themselves up over it. Oh my God, I've been undelivered for 2 hours.
Oh, that's
Oh
true.
my God, he didn't.
His Snap score went up 10,000.
He didn't reply to my story. He was active 10 minutes ago, and I'm still undelivered.
Okay, so I actually also recently got Snapchat. So
yeah,
I was a text message user till about last year.
Message user.
So I think getting Snap, I was really excited, and then it kind of faded on me. I used to Snap anyone, everyone, all the time.
Yeah.
And, now I won't add anyone back. I'll do streaks and all the things. But
yeah.
I really enjoy all of those apps for entertainment purposes. But in terms of mental health and just, the way that I think about things, I think that it does give a negative impact. It is negative in that area.
And I think that's such a hard thing sometimes for people our age to admit.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm addicted to my Snapchat.
Recently I was in my bed and I was scrolling and I was oh, these girls, it was your homecoming. I was oh, these girls are perfect. Sabrina
is beautiful.
Wow, she's so pretty.
She's
why don't I
amazing.
Like that? Why don't I like that? And I was oh my God.
No, and it's so hard, especially when I was at Westlake, when I had to see all
Yeah.
these girls who had just the perfect image
And like so much money that you're just throwing at everything.
exactly,
Like,
like getting facials every weekend.
Yeah.
It's just so hard because then you have them in your real life and then on social media.
yeah. And then you have people who aren't as fortunate as us.
and
like, you
we're
can't,
just
like, I feel horrible talking about these things and like, you know.
And that's why I think it's just so hard because there's never really like, I don't know. You saw the Barbie movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember her speech about like, how you have to be like this, but you also can't be too much of it.
Mm-hmm.
But do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's
just
a
like
lot.
that. It's just so hard to be like perfect.
Yeah.
And we just doubt ourselves so much. So that's funny. Okay, so do you think that social media has helped you make friends at our school?
Yes.
Yes?
I don't even feel like I need to go into that. Like 100%.
I think that's how our friend group formed. I don't think our friend group would have formed unless our group chat had been made.
Yeah, like 10,000%.
Thank you.
Okay.
So do you hang out with people at school who go to St. Michael's, or do you hang out with people who do not go to St. Michael's, or both?
I would say that like 90% of the time you will catch me with my SMCA people,
friends?
but like the other 10%, like I have some friends from Lake Travis that I'm still in touch with. I did try to kind of branch out because those people suck.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I have like probably like 10 to 15 people that like I would definitely still hang out with. But my first priority is usually people from my school.
I agree.
Or my soccer team.
I think my sister, I was on the phone with her a few days ago, and she was just telling me, she was like, it's great to have friends outside of school.
Yeah.
But really, like, you need your in-school friends. Because you have to see them every single day.
Yeah.
For weeks on weeks on weeks.
Okay.
What is something due to social media or friend group drama or anything of just being a girl, what are some things that you've struggled with that? Or like, what are some things that you see that just kind of affect you and make you think like, oh?
I think that one of the things that I struggle with, like, myself-wise is, like, kind of, like, hold on, I don't even know how to, like, word this. Like, okay, hold on. Okay, I feel like that I have a hard time opening up to people, which, like, kind of makes it seem to other people that I'm kind of, like, closed off, you know? And, like, it's just, like, it takes me a long time to want to talk about things and open up about things. And I think that some people kind of perceive that as me being, like, standoffish or antisocial when, you know, that's just not really true, if that makes sense at all.
That does. And I feel like when you're starting a new school and you're like that and that's just like kind of how you are, it can be kind of hard to like make friends in that way because people are like, why won't she talk to me?
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't mean to.
Yeah.
That's just what I like. I can't really control it. Yeah, I think that it's really hard for me to open up to. And when I do, it's just kind of like a burst of emotions.
Yeah.
As you know. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, Merritt.
You're welcome.
That's all I have for today.